Hi, welcome to Healthy Coaching, Nutrition Made Simple. It's Dr. Sherri here, and I want to take a minute to show you one of my favorite tests that we run pretty frequently here. It's called a digestive stool analysis. It is great for people who have long-standing digestive issues, people that are having food reactions, they're very sensitive to different foods, any autoimmune issues. This is a great test to get at the core of why somebody might have an overactive immune system and end up having some kind of autoimmune diagnosis. It's really great here because we get to see exactly what's going on in somebody's digestive tract versus just sort of throwing some digestive supplements or changing foods and sort of a little bit of a guessing game. This gives us a really clear picture of what's going on. This may be particularly good for somebody who has done a lot of different diet changes and they have tried different probiotics and digestive enzymes, things like this, and they're still not getting the results they want. We like to look a little closer with the digestive tract. So this is a stool test. It's done in home. It's a kit that gets sent to you, and you take a series of stool samples and send it directly to the lab. I have a running joke in the office that I do not want to get these lab kits back in my office. I will not know what to do with them. They need to go straight to the lab, and then I get the results once the lab interprets them. But let me walk you through and show you what somebody's panel might look like. So the first thing we'll look at is yeast. So we can see if there is an abundance of yeast in the stool and to what degree. Yeast naturally resides in the digestive tract, but when it's out of balance, it can cause lots of different health issues. Everything from chronic gas and bloat to foggy brain and some joint pain, lots of different issues. So we get to see if Candida albicans is an issue. We also get to do an ova and parasites, and this is ×3. So we get 3 different samples and really get to see ova and parasites. The ova in particular can be a little tricky as you might not get one in the sample. If you just do one-time sample, you might miss. So doing this comprehensive 3 sample ova parasites really gets at the majority of them if there are any present. Now we do a bacterial count in the stool, so a lot of people are familiar with using probiotics, and those are the beneficial flora in the digestive tract, and they help to balance out some of the harmful bacteria. So we get to actually see exactly what bacteria might be overgrown in your digestive tract, and that can give us a lot of information as to why you might be having any kind of health or digestive related issues. So we go through and then we see some pretty long-standing type of bacterial issues and things like C. diff, Giardia, Cryptosporum, amoeba. These are pretty significant issues that may need to be dealt with fairly aggressively. So we can get to see if any of those are showing up. H. pylori is pretty well known for being associated with ulcers and gastroesophageal reflux disease. So we'll get to see if there are any antibodies around for H. pylori, and that can give us a lot of information as well. We get a glimpse of the immune system here with the total intestinal secretory IgA. IgA is the immune system in the mucosa. So it tells us, one, a little bit of immune function. So much of our immune health is in the digestive tract, and it also tells us a little bit about that gut barrier. You'll see this person's fairly low in secretory IgA, with the normal being about 400 to 880. So at 100, we can see if she has issues, like we saw she had some candida above, we can see how long-standing some of these bacteria or yeast issues might be. As it continues to wear down on the immune system and that mucosal lining, we get a sense of how we need to work with that person's digestive tract. We get a picture of some enzymes here. So there's lysozyme and anti-chymotrypsin. These tell us about inflammation in the digestive tract, and it can also give us a little bit of a clue as to where the inflammation might be located. Is it more in the small intestine? Is it more in the large intestine? So we get a real good feel for that. And we do a screen for gliadin, which gluten antibodies. This is the only screen we do for food sensitivities on this basic panel. You can do a more expanded panel that will do soy, egg, dairy, and gluten. But on this panel in particular, and this is the one I run most frequently, we just do gluten, and clearly we can see if there's a gluten issue. And it's also a screen for potential other food sensitivities. So if you see gluten really high, it might give us more impetus to go ahead and look at other foods that might be reactive as well. We have another enzyme here, chymotrypsin, which gives us a marker of pancreatic function. Pancreatic enzymes are really key to the digestive process, so that's important to look at. We see if there's any occult blood in the stool, and we get an idea of the overall pH. So you can see how comprehensive this test is, and where we can really put a health and wellness plan together based on some key things that might be off in your digestive tract. And again, you could have the same exact digestive symptoms as your next door neighbor, but your panels are going to look very different, and you're going to need a different set of recommendations because of your unique biochemistry. So I hope this is helpful for you. Let me know if you have any questions.